A brand new electric car with 400 kilometers range, luxury features, and 7-year warranty for €25,000. Not a lease, not a demo, brand new. While Volkswagen charges €40,000 for less range and fewer features, Chinese brands are offering better cars for half the price. And here's what European manufacturers don't want you to know. These aren't cheap knockoffs anymore. The BYD Seal just beat the BMW 3 Series in German quality tests. The Zeekr 001 has better build quality than Mercedes. The Xpeng P7's autopilot embarrasses Tesla. The truth is, Chinese cars aren't just cheap, they're actually better. And European manufacturers are in full panic mode because they know their 50-year dominance is ending. Let's destroy the biggest myth first. Chinese cars are poorly built. This was true in 2010. It's a dangerous lie in 2025. The BYD Seal just scored higher than the BMW 3 Series in TÜV reliability testing. German testing, German standards, Chinese victory. The MG4 has a lower first-year failure rate than the Volkswagen ID3. The Nio ET7's interior build quality surpasses the Mercedes EQE according to Automotive and Sports teardown analysis. How did this happen? Chinese manufacturers started with a blank slate. No legacy costs, no union obligations, no 100-year-old factories, no "we've always done it this way" mentality. They hired the best engineers from everywhere, former BMW M division leads, ex-Mercedes designers, Tesla's battery experts. They studied every failure, every recall, every complaint about European cars, then engineered those problems out. Take panel gaps, the traditional Chinese car weakness. The Zeekr 001 has tighter, more consistent gaps than any current Mercedes. German journalists measuring with calipers found variations of less than 1mm across the entire car. The Mercedes EQE they tested the same week, 3 to 4mm variations. The Chinese are now teaching Germans about precision. But it's not just about fit and finish. The fundamentals are superior. BYD's E-Platform 3.0 is more advanced than anything from Volkswagen's MEB or Mercedes's EVA. It integrates the battery as a structural element, reducing weight while increasing rigidity. The cell-to-pack technology eliminates modules, improving energy density by 20%. European manufacturers are still using architectures designed in 2015. The materials are better too. The Nio ET7 uses aluminium space frame construction with carbon fiber roof, supercar materials at executive sedan prices. The BMW 5 Series? Steel with some aluminium panels. The Chinese are using tomorrow's technology while Europeans milk yesterday's investments. European car design has stagnated into angry faces, fake vents, and oversized grills. BMW's beaver teeth, Mercedes's blob shapes, Stellantis's confused identity crisis. Meanwhile, Chinese brands brought fresh eyes and unlimited budgets to create genuinely beautiful cars. The Nio ET7 is stunning. Clean lines, perfect proportions, no unnecessary aggression. It looks expensive, sophisticated, futuristic without being weird. The head of Bentley Design called it exceptional. When Bentley compliments your design, you're doing something right. The Xpeng P7 makes the Tesla Model S look dated and the Mercedes EQE look like a suppository. Its low, wide stance with frameless doors and continuous light bar creates presence without shouting. Its confident design, not insecure overcompensation like modern BMWs. The Avatar 11, designed with input from Porsche's former chief designer, is art on wheels. Flowing surfaces, hidden door handles that actually work, a front end that's distinctive without being grotesque. Compare it to BMW XM's angry pig face, there's no competition. Inside, Chinese cars embarrass Europeans completely. The Li Auto L9 has 3 15.7-inch OLED screens with zero lag, perfect blacks, and intuitive interfaces. BMW's curved display that everyone raves about? It's running Android from 2019 on hardware that can't keep up. The Chinese interfaces respond instantly because they're using gaming-grade processors, not automotive-grade calculators from 2015. The Hongqi EHS9 brings back genuine luxury. Real open-pore wood, not plastic with wood print. Nappa leather everywhere, not just where your hands touch. Alcantara headliner as standard, not a €2,000 option. Metal switches that click satisfyingly, not capacitive touch that doesn't work with gloves. The Chinese understood that luxury means materials, not marketing. If you're tired of overpaying for underwhelming European cars that break after warranty, subscribe now, because what Chinese brands are planning next will revolutionize everything you thought you knew about cars. Here's what really terrifies European executives. Chinese cars are more reliable, not just competitive, but genuinely superior. BYD offers 8-year 160,000 km warranties on their batteries. Some models get 10-year warranties in their home market. Meanwhile, BMW gives you 8 years maximum and fights every warranty claim like their life depends on it. The data is undeniable. MG, now Chinese-owned, has moved from bottom-tier reliability to consistently outperforming Volkswagen Group brands. The MG ZS EV has 47% fewer problems per 100 vehicles than the Volkswagen ID.4 in the first year of ownership. The MG5 estate beats the Golf estate in long-term reliability studies. These aren't predictions or hopes, these are insurance company statistics. The BYD Blade battery is revolutionary. It passed nail penetration tests that would make Tesla batteries explode. It survived being crushed, overcharged, overheated to 300 degrees C, and frozen to minus 40 degrees C. German battery suppliers can't match it. Korean suppliers can't match it. The Chinese solved the safety problem everyone else just accepts. Why are they more reliable? Because Chinese manufacturers learn from everyone's mistakes. No wet timing belts like Stellantis, no plastic oil sumps like some VAG engines, no electronic water pumps positioned to cook themselves like BMW. They use proven, simple, overbuilt solutions. A timing chain that could last 500,000 kilometers costs them 20 euros more than one that lasts 150,000 kilometers. They spend the 20 euros. Software reliability is another shock. Chinese car software doesn't brick your car like VW's ID.3 launch disaster. It doesn't require dealer visits for updates like Mercedes. Xpeng pushes over-the-air updates monthly that actually improve the car. Better range, better autopilot, new features. When did BMW last give you free improvements? Now let's talk about the massacre. Pricing. The BYD Atto costs 35,000 euros and offers more than a 50,000 euro BMW iX1. More range, more features, better warranty, better reliability, and it actually has physical controls that actually work. You're paying 15,000 euros less for an objectively better car. The MG4 Trophy long range costs 38,000 euros with 520 kilometers of range. The equivalent ID.3 Pro S? 44,000 euros with 450 kilometers of range. The MG is cheaper, goes further, charges faster, and has better standard equipment. Volkswagen is charging more for less, banking on badge snobbery that's rapidly evaporating. But the real explosion comes with the BYD Seal, arriving in 2026 at around 15,000 euros. That's not a typo. 15,000 euros for a proper 4-door electric car with 300 kilometers range, modern safety features, and actual build quality. The cheapest Volkswagen ID.3? 33,000 euros. The Seagull will cost less than half while offering 80% of the capability. How can they do this? Vertical integration. BYD makes their own batteries, motors, chips, even the steel. They don't pay supplier margins at every level. Tesla popularized this approach, but Chinese companies perfected it. While Stellantis argues with suppliers over €2 parts, BYD makes them in-house for less than €1. Scale matters too. BYD alone sells more EVs than all European manufacturers combined. Their factory in Shenzhen produces more cars than BMW's entire European production. When you're building millions, not thousands, every component gets cheaper. European manufacturers can't compete because they can't match the scale. Standard equipment on Chinese cars makes European option lists look like robbery. The Xpeng P5 has LiDAR-based autopilot that actually works. In city traffic, on highways, in parking garages. Mercedes charges 7,350 euros for Drive Pilot that only works on specific pre-mapped highway sections at speeds below 60 km per hour. The Chinese system is better and free. Vehicle to load comes standard on almost every Chinese EV. Plug in your tools, camping equipment, even charge another EV. It costs manufacturers 50 euros to implement. European brands? That's a 1,500 euro option if available at all. BMW doesn't even offer it. You pay more to get less functionality. Massage seats in the Li Auto 1? Standard. BMW 5 Series? 2,000 euro option. Refrigerated compartment? Standard in many Chinese luxury models. Not available at any price from Germans. Air suspension on the Zeekr 001? Standard. On equivalent BMWs, 4,500 euros extra. The software features are embarrassing for Europeans. Xpeng's voice control understands natural language in multiple languages simultaneously. Just say "I'm cold" and it adjusts temperature. Say "I can't see well" and it adjusts lighting. Meanwhile, hey Mercedes still can't understand basic controls half the time despite a decade of development. Nio's battery swap system is genius that Europeans can't match. Battery depleted? 3 minutes for a full swap at automated stations. Faster than petrol, faster than any charging. Battery degradation? Not your problem. You're always getting good packs. The infrastructure investment required? Nio just built it while Europeans formed committees to discuss it. European manufacturers spent decades building brand prestige to justify premium prices. Chinese manufacturers just built better cars. When the cheap car is objectively superior, brand prestige becomes worthless nostalgia. A Gucci bag can coast on brand. A car that breaks can't. The Chinese aren't playing by European rules. They're not protecting bloated dealer networks that add 20% to prices. They're not maintaining artificial service schedules to generate revenue. They're not creating fake scarcity to inflate desirability. They build what customers want and sell it directly at fair prices. European protectionism can't stop this. The EU's tariffs on Chinese EVs just delay the inevitable. BYD is building a factory in Hungary. Nio is establishing in Germany. Geely already owns Volvo, Polestar, Lotus, and large chunks of Mercedes and Aston Martin. They're becoming European manufacturers, eliminating tariff excuses while maintaining advantages. The technology gap is insurmountable and growing. Chinese companies are already testing solid-state batteries while Europeans argue about platform sharing. CATL's new Qilin battery achieves 255 watt-hours per kilogram density, 30% better than anything European. By the time Europeans copy current Chinese technology, China will be another generation ahead. The talent drain accelerates this. Chinese companies are hiring the best European engineers with 300% salary increases. Entire BMW departments have moved to Nio. Mercedes battery experts work for BYD now. The knowledge sharing is one-directional, from Europe to China. Watch European manufacturers' responses and you'll see pure panic. BMW CEO claims Chinese cars don't meet European taste. That same week, BYD outsold BMW in electric vehicles globally. Apparently, European taste means overpaying for inferior products. Stellantis tried partnering with Leapmotor to sell Chinese cars under European brands. Its admission of defeat. If you can't beat them, rebadge them. Mercedes partnered with Geely for smart cars. Volkswagen is using Xpeng software because their own doesn't work. They're not competing, they're surrendering. The propaganda is desperate. Chinese cars are subsidized, scream manufacturers who received billions in diesel emissions fraud settlements. Chinese cars spy on you, claim companies that track every kilometer for subscription services. Chinese quality can't be trusted, say brands recalling millions of defective engines. European governments are complicit. France's €7,000 EV incentive excludes Chinese cars based on carbon footprint, ignoring that shipping from China adds less CO2 than manufacturing in Poland with coal power. Germany discusses banning Chinese cars from government fleets while German brands build in China. It's protectionism disguised as environmentalism, but consumers aren't fooled. BYD sales in Europe increased 200% year over year. MG is now Britain's fastest growing brand. Nio's showrooms in Berlin have months-long waiting lists. European buyers are voting with their wallets, choosing value over nationalism. For decades, you had no choice. Pay German brands or take the bus. Accept French quality or walk. Navigate Italian reliability or stay home. That monopoly is dead. Chinese brands offer genuine alternatives that are better in every measurable way. Imagine paying €25,000 for a car that won't break after warranty. Having features that European brands charge thousands for, getting software updates that improve rather than restrict functionality, having a manufacturer that respects you rather than exploits you. This isn't fantasy, it's what Chinese brands deliver today. The safety argument is dead. Chinese cars score identically to Europeans in Euro NCAP testing. The quality argument is dead, they're measurably better built. The technology argument is dead, they're more advanced. The only argument left is brand snobbery, and that's dying too. Your next car could cost half as much while being twice as good. That terrifies European manufacturers who've grown fat on margins. Good. They've exploited captive markets for decades. Competition is justice. Chinese brands are forcing Europeans to improve or die. Most will die. This isn't speculation about tomorrow, this is reality today. While Stellantis recalls 1 million defective engines, BYD just works. While BMW charges subscriptions for heated seats, Xpeng adds features for free. While Mercedes removes buttons to save €200, Nio includes massage seat standard. The European automotive industry faces extinction-level disruption. Not in a decade. Now. Chinese brands aren't coming. They're here. They're not competing. They're dominating. They're not asking permission. They're taking market share. Every Chinese car sold forces European manufacturers to confront reality. Their business model of maximum extraction from captive customers is dead. Their strategy of minimal innovation at maximum price is finished. Their assumption that badges matter more than products is fatal. For consumers, this is liberation. Real choice, real competition, real value. The same money that bought you a poverty-spec German car now buys you a loaded Chinese car. The same budget that meant compromise now means abundance. The same market that exploited you now serves you. The automotive revolution isn't coming. It's here. Chinese brands aren't the future. They're the present. European manufacturers aren't competing. They're dying. And honestly, after decades of exploitation, they deserve it. Which overpriced European brand will you abandon first? What Chinese car are you considering? Share your thoughts below, because the old automotive order is dead, and we're all better for it.